my dear friends, I'm back. It's Karen from Turquoise Treasures, and I'm hopefully I'm back now recording, doing some crafting with you. I've missed you all so much, and I'm really happy to be back in my craft room, although I haven't really been out of my craft room that much, but I'll talk about that a bit later. So first, I really must first start by thanking you all so much for all your lovely messages, wishing me well in my recovery. I've had some emails asking me how I'm getting on. It's been just so touching. I've been really blown away by everybody's support. I thought I would be kind of disappearing into the ether and nobody would remember who I was when I finally decided to come back. But I've just been really, really chuffed by how kind you've all been and how very supportive, and I really appreciate it. And I saw that you saw my little video that for Rhonda that I put up a couple of days ago, and you've all welcomed me back, and that's lovely. I made that video quite a while ago because I had to send the journal off to Rhonda. I think at the beginning of February, so it's been quite a while since I actually made that video. But I thought I'd upload it when I was ready to come back properly. So here I am. I've got a few more thank yous. First of all, thank you so much for your lovely response to my video I did with Hannah. You seem to have really enjoyed it, and I really enjoyed doing it, and I think she did as well. It was lovely to do something with her. She's been very supportive, with trying to help me get back into the craft room, particularly early on when I got a bit low. She came over here and we did some things together, and that was really lovely. And it was all her idea to do it as a Q&A. I just asked her to help me set it up so I could just, talk to you face to face, which is what I'm not used to doing. But she said, well, why don't I ask you the questions, and it makes it a bit more interactive. And I said, well, that's a lovely idea if you don't mind doing it. And she was really up for it. So, and your response has been brilliant. So thank you very much. It was just so nice. She's lovely, and she's actually the daughter who's getting married later in the year. She's our bride-to-be, so we're very excited about all of that, and we've been doing some things to do with that over the last couple of months as well. And finally, finally but not least, a big thank you to Brenda. Brenda, thank you so much. She sent me an Amazon voucher so I could buy myself some goodies to play with, which is really, really, really sweet of her. And I have bought a couple of little things, but I'm not going to spend it like mad. I'm going to buy things that I really want, and eke it out a little bit. So that was really, really kind of you, Brenda. Thank you. Brenda's from Your Way Crafting, and she has her own YouTube channel, and it was lovely of you, Brenda, to send that to me. It was a lovely surprise, so thank you. And when I use the things that I bought with the voucher, I will mention that that's what I've bought, if you see what I mean. Anyway, so let's get crafting. I don't want to witter on too much. You're here for me to do some crafting. I will chat a little bit further on once I've got going about what I've been up to over the last couple of months. Not very much, I have to say, but a few things to kind of tell you about. But I thought I'd start off by doing something a little bit easy. I haven't got any real. I've got some projects in mind, some bigger projects that I'd like to start, but it's not the time for that yet. I'm still in recovery. I'm still working on my arm. It's still not fully functional. So I thought I'd just start off by doing a few videos, making some ephemera, trying to keep it easy and just building up my stash a little bit. So what I'm going to start with, and you may have seen this. This is a kit by Tracie from Love Junk Journals, called the Mega Mix and Match Kit. I've just kept this one. I've cut everything else. That took me weeks to cut everything out because I had to do it really slowly with one arm in a sling and just doing a bit, and some of the round things and the more difficult things to cut out I had to leave, but most of it is straightforward, so I cut a lot of it out and took my time over it. So I just thought I'd leave this one so you can see this is how the kit comes. You get all these pages with the main piece of ephemera to make and then some things to decorate it with. And it's all based around her December daily that she did. She did a December daily. She did a piece of ephemera for each day, and then created a kit to go with that so she could make the ephemera. And then after Christmas, she recreated that kit with non-Christmas colours. I only found out about this because I saw Gail using this kit some weeks ago, and I thought, that looks really fun, and it looks like something I could have a go at while I'm not fully functional, and I could just do, you know, it just looked easy. You could just put it together. You can do it the way Tracie does it, or do it your own way, which I've done a bit of both. So I just thought I'd show you. This is the actual kit, and each of these pieces of ephemera relates to one of the days in the December daily. So she does a video there where she shows you how she puts together that particular piece of ephemera, and it just doesn't, you know, just this kit is not Christmas. So, but the actual basis of the ephemera is exactly the same. So I've got that one, so I put that one aside because I've still got to cut that one out now. On that summer, oh, I also bought the backing paper kit because it's quite nice sometimes. Some of the pieces of ephemera are nice to have this backing paper, and it was really pretty anyway. So I bought that kit as well. But I only bought Mega Mix kit number 1. She makes 2 kits. She's made 2 kits, number 1 and number 2, and I just bought number 1 because I thought that would be enough to keep me busy. And I haven't really finished many of them. I've done a few, so I thought I'd show you the ones I've actually finished. And then we'll make a couple of them today. So I'll just put those aside for a second. So, and what I've done is I actually marked which day from the December daily each one was from, so that if I needed to refer back, if I wasn't sure how to start. So sometimes I look at what she's done and I think, well, actually, I'm not quite sure I want to do it quite like that. I might do it my own way. Some of them I've done exactly the way she's done them, and some of them I've changed. So this was her day 4. So they're in no particular order, just how I ended up doing them, I think. So this is just a pocket with a little journal card inside, which I've just backed there. And I've added my own few little bits on here, so it's not exactly the same as hers, but so I added a little Tim Holtz little girl with her dog and some lace. So I've just embellished a little in my own way on this one, but basically this is exactly the same as the way Tracie did it. So that was day 4. Now this one, I think these are from day 2. I better keep this with it, hadn't I? Because I'll forget which one is which. Okay, so this was day 2. And these are all from the kit, and there was a pocket and a couple of tags. Well, I think it was meant to be 1 tags. On the whole, Tracie usually gives you, like on this one I showed you, hang on. You get a 1 tag that you then cut the whole thing out and fold it back to back. And that's generally how Tracie used them. But I'm inclined to feel that I don't want to waste that pretty back on it being on the back. And also you can't really write on it. This one you probably could actually, because it looks like there is some writing space. So I might still do it that way with this one. But generally, when there are 2 tags that you're meant to fold and use back to back, I tend to split them. And do them as 2 separate tags rather than 1 tag, partly because I don't want to waste all the pretty design on the second tag, and I don't really want a decorated back to a tag. I like my tags to be plain on the back, so you can actually use them for writing if you want to. So that's why I'm probably going to end up with loads more pieces of ephemera than was actually intended from the kit, because I'm splitting all the tags and doubling up really. So this was the tag. I thought these are from the kit. I added a few little bits. This little thing was floating around on my desk, and there's a bit of lace. So usually I've used mostly her stuff from her kit and then added my own little extras. And it's the same lady, but this one was, I cut this one out, this lady. And so that I've put in there. So that's the pocket. This is from day 2, as you can see. Oops. And then this is the second tag, which I've again backed and put another piece. This is again another piece from the kit. So she gives you plenty of extras if you want to do things differently. She gives you extra pieces of ephemera in the kit, so you can make up, do it however you like. So that's what I've used there. Popped a little bit of lace behind here and a little topper on there. So yeah, so that was day 2. This one I've done almost exactly as she's done, because I think it was really pretty what she did. So and I've just used a piece of sari silk to close it up, which has been glued to the back, and then it just goes like that. It opens out, and I love the way that works. So I've done it the same way as her, and then there's a couple of little pockets here, and then I've just filled it with a variety of bits and pieces. some of which were from my own stash, some of which were from the kit, and that was from day 11. So I'll pop that in there to remind me when that was. And I've just decorated it however I felt, and so, but most of it is actually from her kit, and I really like that. So that was a piece of Fremma. So you can write on a number of things that were in the inside. I mean, I did think I might put some coffee dye paper on the inside, but I haven't done it yet. Ooh. I'm still a little bit restricted by my arm. I'm having to work on it quite a lot. I'm doing exercises, and so sometimes if I start kind of pulling things towards me and disappearing off camera, I'll try and remember, and either I'll cut that bit out of the video in my editing, or I'll try and remember to push it back up again so you can see what I'm doing, because it's still a bit difficult to hold my arm out, you know, so it's in camera all the time. So then I started working on this one. I thought this is a nice simple tag. The idea is that you just have this side and you have this side on the back. As I said, she usually backs to back hers, and I've split them and covered and backed them separately. And I've worked on this one. This is the actual topper that's from the kit. I did a bit of coffee dyed cheesecloth and a button at the bottom there, just to cheer it up and make it. I like this soft fluffy edge here. And I started working on this one, and I got a bit of a problem with my shoulder. It decided to go into a bit of a meltdown. This is my left shoulder, not the one that was operated on. And I think it's because I've had to work, that arm has had to do everything for so long. It finally, threw a complete hissy fit, started doing this a week ago. I've not been in the craft room since. It's just beginning, well, it is now a lot better, but it took quite a number of days for that to calm down. So I was really getting into my crafting. I was really thinking I was going to be able to do a nice few things before I actually came back on camera to get myself back into the groove. But no, my shoulder had other ideas. So I had to, everything ground to a halt. I was in the middle of a couple of things that I was working on, and I had to put it all aside. So this one, I'd got out the bits I wanted to use. You can see, this is all the rest of the kit, so we'll start working through those in a minute. But I had got a few little bits out, because this, of course, was the extra tag that should have been on the back, but I wanted to do it my own way. So I went into my stash and I found a few things that I really like to use, one of which was this cluster. I'm a shocker for making things like these little clusters and then forgetting to use them. And I thought this went rather well. So what I picked out, I do love these gorgeous ladies. These are actually by Artie Mays, and I think they're called Female Beauties. There may be 2 or 3 kits of these. I think this is kit number 1. And I really love using these lovely ladies with their beautiful outfits. So I thought she went really nicely on there. And then I picked up this cluster and thought, that would go quite nicely as well with one of my wax seal embellishments. Again, I keep making these things. I really love making them. They're really fun to do. Then I never use them. So I thought I could pop that on there because it picks up the little bit of colour here. And then I'm kind of thinking maybe I'll use a bit of this black lace. I'm not really one for black lace usually, but I do have a little bit. And I thought, well, maybe behind here, because it's got this black background, maybe I could put a little bit of black lace just behind her there. I actually quite like that. It's just a bit different for me. So, but what I do want to do is just trim off this little edge. So I'm going to do that and have another look. And then I think I'm going to just put this one together. And this is just a little bit of a different look for this tag. But she does have, as you saw with the ones I've already made, that she has got some ladies and things in her kit. What I love about this kit is that it's all different styles and all different colours. So you could probably find one of the pieces, some of the embellishment pieces would fit in almost any journal because they're so varied. So there's greens, there's blues, there's pinks, different shades of green and blue, more turquoisey colours like the one I showed you. This one is a much more of a turquoise. This one's, it's got the really lovely, gorgeous tealy turquoisey colour. And then this is more of I totally different blue. So there's quite a lovely variety of colours and styles in this kit. So you could fit them. This would be lovely in a nature journal, and I really like that. So I think I'm going to put that on there just for something a little different. Well, for me it's a bit different. So I'm going to just use a bit of the good old art glitter glue. I had to check that all my glues were working again, because they hadn't been used very much, and they can get a bit cloggy, can't they, when you leave them for too long. And I had a bit of a battle with the what's it called? Brain's gone. The clear stuff that we use. Oh, what's it called? Hang on. I've got it here. The Fabri-Tac. Oh dear, brain's turned to mush. Yeah, the Fabri-Tac. I had a bit of a battle with that to try and get it going yesterday, but I think hopefully it'll work if I need it to, because I think I might use it for the cluster. It's just a little bit stronger perhaps. I don't know. Okay, that'll go there. And actually I'm going to use the, I'm going to try and use the Fabri-Tac to stick her on, just because she's going on to lace, just to make sure. So let's see if it's going to cooperate with me today. Well, it's poking its head out the bottom there, so maybe it will work. Yeah, so it was a bit of a long 7 weeks that I was in the sling. And by the end it was quite tough, because keeping my arm in that position for all that time played havoc with my elbow. My shoulder itself, the one that was operated on, has been brilliant. It has really healed beautifully. They're really happy with where it's, the x-rays are all good, everything's working. My physio is happy with the progress it's made and all of that. But unfortunately it's taken a toll on pretty well every other joint in my arms. In particularly my elbow, the right elbow and the left shoulder. They have really kind of suffered, because they're the two that have never been replaced, at least not yet. So it was a bit tough on them, and so by the last few weeks, the elbow was really giving me some trouble. But almost as soon as I came out of the sling, I mean, it was almost instantaneous. The relief on my elbow. I mean, it's been absolutely fine ever since. But we have now agreed, I think, that is going to be my next one to be replaced. So, don't know when that'll happen, but I have now been referred to get that one done next. So, who knows? Could be later this year, could be next year. We'll see. Depends how things go. But yeah, I think it's necessary now. It's proved that it needs to go. It needs to be replaced. It's in a bad way. So, but I think that won't involve a sling, I don't think, because I had my left one done a long time ago, and they get that moving really quickly. A bit like having a knee done, really. It's the same sort of joint, and they get it going quite quickly. I mean, you do have to work quite hard, but I think it's necessary. Anyway, let's bring that down a little bit, I think. I was going to ink it a little bit and I forgot, but it doesn't really matter. It's still a nice contrast to that one. If I can just do a little bit, add a little bit, because I'm not good at chatting and crafting. But I just feel like I've got quite a lot of things to catch you up with. Yeah, it was a little bit up, it was a bit of a roller coaster ride those weeks, but it's all behind me now. It's been 3 weeks now since I came out the sling, and it's been, apart from the elbow issue, it's been really good just to have that bit of have my arm back, really, be able to wear clothes that I can just put on more easily, and bit by bit, every day I've been able to do a little bit more, and I just keep having to do my exercises, and all will be well. And this is really going to help. This is like therapy, and you know, it's actually exercising my arm as well at the same time. So it's all good. So I think I'm just going to put that there. Really like that with a little butterfly, and I like the colour. I think it looks, and because there is a little bit of pink in her hat and in her flowers. It's one of those funny ones that's looks like it should all be black and white, or it's kind of sepia colours, but they've just enhanced some of the colours here and there. So there's a little bit of colour in her hat. So there's some yellow and some pink in her hat and in her roses, in her little bouquet. So I'm just bringing out that little bit of pink in this cluster. Whoops, don't really want an upside down butterfly, do we? So I'm hoping that will stick down. Let's push that down a moment. So I'd already put the little topper on. That's just a little bit of the leftover cheesecloth from when I did this one. I thought, oh, there's just a little strip, and so I tied it around there, made it into the little topper. So there we are. Okay, let's just wipe the bubble off here and then put the top on before it. That's coming out nicely though. Hopefully that will stay like that. Okay, so that's the next next little tag. So that was day number 6, in case you hadn't noticed. And there we go. So that's that one. Now, so I should tell you what. I put all of these in little individual bags. These are the Avery L bags. I use these for my stamps, because I think they're quite a good size for stamps. So I bought a new packet because I'd run out, and I thought, well, that's quite handy just to put each of these, all the bits that go with it, into each bag for each day. And so this one's half done. So I've made a start in some of them in kind of putting them together without actually finishing them off, so I could do them on camera. So I've given some thought to how they might go. So I'll do this pink one, just because it's a very different colour and style to the others. And I'm doing this one a bit differently to the way Tracie did it. This is a few offcuts because I used the pink. This is the pink backing, one of the backing papers that came in the other kit, the backing paper kit. So I actually printed it on the other side of the actual kit pieces. Let's just get rid of these. I've just kept them in case I needed to add any extra bits, really. So the main piece of ephemera is this piece here. And I've just pinned it together so I could remind myself, because I think I did this probably at least two weeks ago, and I sat thinking how I want to put this together. And Tracie, this is all one single piece of ephemera in Tracie's day 22, where it opens up and she has a pocket here, and she's got a little side tuck here, and she puts all the bits of ephemera in this pocket. I decided to do it a bit differently and make that the pocket, and then do these pieces separately. That's what I thought I'd like to do. So I think what I might do first is just clip a little thumb hole here to show that it's the pocket. Ooh. So I didn't get my punch ready. So I'm just going to pop that there. Oop! Nearly got me in the eye. Right, and then I might just do a bit of inking around that edge and along here. I'm thinking I might cut this into a tag shape. I haven't quite decided. Or I might round the corners. Maybe that would be a good idea. I think perhaps I'll do that. I'll round the corner at the top. Let's get my corner rounder out. Okay. Do the seven the middle-sized round, the middle-sized corner, I think. And I hope I'm still on camera. Okay. then just ink that. Because I don't want this, yes, I think this needs to be a tag or something that goes into a pocket, because if you use it as a pocket, I don't really get the idea of the floating pocket, the one you just clip in. I think it adds bulk if you clip too many things into the journal that because you want to keep the back. And I think that's quite nice. You could write on the back of that. So I think I might use this as a sort of tag pocket type of thing that can go into a pocket, into another pocket. I'm not sure, but I just wanted to, I don't want to lose the back basically. So I'm just going to glue that down, I think. So yeah, so I just thought I'd do it a bit differently, just because I felt that if you have everything together in this one piece of ephemera, it gets quite bulky. And I wanted to make the most of the pieces that came with the kit, really. So I think I've ended up with 3 different separate pieces of ephemera in the end. I'm not quite sure. I've clipped them all together so that I can, to remind myself what I decided to do. Of course, this is now not going to come out. I had a pin, and here it is. Right, so my pocket is now glued down. And I remembered afterwards that the reason I hadn't put a clip in this already was because I was going to put some lace across the top here. But it doesn't matter, I might just put it somewhere else instead. I really wanted to use, I do like to use lace on my pieces, in case you hadn't noticed that before, which I'm sure you have. So I was wondering, because I've got these couple of little pieces to decorate the front of the pocket with, and I thought I might make this into a little tuck and then put this little piece in there to tuck it in. And they're both backed with this paper, I think this backing paper, but I think you could still write on this if you wanted to. And I thought maybe I'll just put this piece of lace under here along the side, and then it just looks a little bit softer and a little prettier. So I think that's what I'm going to do. Put that little bit of lace there. I can see that I'm not going to get many of these done in this video, but I'm sure you're used to me being a bit on the slow side by now. It's no good rushing it and then not being happy with what you've done, is it? And I could just plonk these things down, but they wouldn't then really be my piece of ephemera, they'd be Tracie's, and I want to do it my way. So I'm going to put that there and put the art glittered glue, give it a bit of a squeeze, put that round down here. One of the things I was doing while I was sitting in my room, because I sat in my room quite a lot, in this room, my happy place. I've got a little in the corner, I've got this little cute little chair. It's like a cocktail chair, I suppose they call it. It's like a very small armchair. And I have a TV over in the corner on the other side, so I would just sit here sometimes just watching the television, just to be in my room. And then I'd sit and look around, and I mean, obviously I've been watching lots of YouTube videos, and there's been lots of organisation and decluttering going on out there in YouTube world. And I think it's the time of year, isn't it? People start thinking, oh, you know, need to have a bit of a clear out, need to tidy up, reorganise. So I was doing all of that in my head, sitting there saying, well, if I move that there, I could put that there, and then I've got room for all that there, and, you know, and trying to put things where they'd work better together. And, you know, I ended up having all these little things that just didn't really have a home. So the upshot was that I managed to persuade Richard to take me to IKEA to buy some more storage. Just a little drawer unit. It's called the Helmer unit, I think. I have got a couple of sets of the Alex drawers, but the the smallest size of Alex drawers was just a bit too big, because I wanted it to go under my desk just here to the left of me. So I could just put all these little bits that didn't really have a very good home, a lot of which lived on my desk. I think that's going to go there. I wanted somewhere just to put the little things that I could just reach for all the time, that I just wanted to have handy. So he agreed. I think, you know, he's been ever so good. He's been, you know, having to do so much while I was incapacitated. He's had to do, as well as still working 4 days a week, 4 very full days a week. He's been having to help me with everything, help me get dressed, help me have a shower, do all the cooking, all the laundry. And it was just as tough for him as for me, probably in some ways more so, because all I could do was kind of watch the television, watch YouTube, and not do an awful lot else, which sounds lovely, but it's not ideal when you're doing it for weeks on end. It can get a little bit depressing at times. But anyway, so he said yes, he would take me to IKEA, because he really doesn't like going there. It can be a bit too much. But what we decided, and we have done this before, is we went straight into the warehousey bit, where you just go and pick up the boxes. They don't really encourage you to do this. They like you to go through the shop and, you know, get caught up in there for hours on end while you try and fight your way through. But we kind of went backwards through all the queues because we knew what we wanted. We already knew, and we knew, you know, we could just find it. So we were in and out in less than half an hour, which is an absolute record for us anyway. Wonder whether that would, sticking up a little bit, isn't it? I think it'll be all right. Anyway, so we did that and came home, and it was only when we got home we realised we'd picked up the wrong colour, because it comes in 3 different colours, and all my IKEA furniture is always white. So I was going to plan to get the white one, but the sticker on the side wasn't very clear. So I got a grey one, but it's no big deal. And actually it's a little bit more discreet under the table there, because it's dark under there anyway. It's got dark grey drawers, so perhaps it doesn't stand out quite as much as it would do. So I'm quite happy with it. 6 little drawers, they're just here by my side. It's got all my little, it's got the things I reach for the most, just handy. I really love it. So once that was in place, I could start quite slowly rearranging everything else. I've still got stuff to do. I've still got to organise all my fabrics, but I've reorganised my Rascog and quite a lot of my shelves. Anyway, let's concentrate on what I'm doing next. So I think let's just try and figure out which bits are going where. It goes there. I'm trying to remember what I was going to do now. So these bits are all with the kit. So this is a very cute little, it's like a photo strip that came with it, and the idea is it goes in the pocket. So and I think what Tracie did, she actually put a pocket on, what's the other side? She put the pocket on here, and then she put this in to that pocket, and then the pocket went in there. And I just thought that was just too many layers for me. So I think I'm going to put it just on there like that, and back it with some avocado dyed paper to make it so that you can write. Because I think this was meant to be this side and this one in the original are back to back, but I want to use them separately, of course. So I've got 2 pieces of avocado dyed paper to cover the back of both of these, so I can use them as, so one will go in here and one can be a separate piece. I think that's the idea. But that was my idea. I'm trying to remember what my thought process was. So this goes on here, I think. Which way round do I want it? That way round, I think. So this is her day 22. I may have mentioned that. And that's going to go on there. but I think it needs a little something behind it. I think we're going to go back to the lace, keep it consistent, and perhaps just put that down. Well, the first thing I want to do, I think, is round the corners of this piece. See, I've got my corner rounder now in my top drawer because it's something I reach for, but I don't really need it sitting on my desk all the time. I've got all my archival inks in there, and my paper clips, and my Yoo-hoo glue, my glue stick, and a whole variety of other bits and pieces that I can just get at more easily, that were in all sorts of different places, and now they're all just handy. One of these days I will try and do a craft room tour. I think it was Brenda that asked me to do that, but at the moment my arm is not strong enough to hold up, either to hold up the camera or to do all the the opening of stuff. It's just, it's still got quite a lot of, there's still a lot of muscle wastage, and I've got to build those muscles up, and it will take me a little while. So until both my arms are kind of fully functional, I can't really do a tour. So at that point I will show you. You will see my little drawer unit, and I will show you what's in it. But I love it. I like it. It's on casters, and it just slides onto my desk. It's just really handy. And I think I'll just cut that there. Nearly used up a whole piece of lace. But I have been buying. I mean, although I've not been doing much crafting, when at every opportunity I have been, if we've been anywhere, I've been buying stuff. I'm a shocker. And if I come across somewhere that sells lace, I just go mad. So we had a weekend away. Well, it was really only one night away, because I really couldn't face being away for too long while I was in the sling, because it's just a bit limiting on what you can do. But we went to this lovely little town for a night, and I found a really lovely sewing shop, and they did lots of lace, and I went a bit mad. Bought lots. So I shouldn't really need lace ever again. But I don't suppose that will stop me buying more. Alright, I cut that edge off because I think that might have been what was making the little tuck stick up a little bit, because it's just that little bit thicker on that edge, isn't it, when you've got the the little border on the lace. So maybe if I cut that off, the little photograph strip will lay down a bit flatter. That's my theory. No, I think, is it upside down? Yeah, I think that's one way up. It's not always easy to tell with lace, but sometimes you just get a feeling that one way looks better than the other. Okay. Okay, that's just about stuck down, I think. And again, I'm going to swap over to the Fabri-Tac to glue this on, as it's going to be gluing onto the lace. Now, do I want to round the corners on this? No, I don't think I do. Oh, but I do want to ink it a little bit, just to make it stand out a little bit from the background. It just kind of provides a little bit of an edge, so that it doesn't blend too much, because the background of this photo strip is very, very much the same as the background on the tag, so it just stands out a little bit more. Okay. So I probably do at some point I will do one more video of this, just because it's all there and I haven't got to think too much about it. It just makes it a little bit of a more relaxed, slightly more relaxing. Although of course I won't necessarily do them all the way they've been designed. Okay, so I've glued on that bit of lace. I was having a bit of a battle with the Fabri-Tac, so I did turn the camera off and then glued the little photo strip on top, and I think that looks really pretty like that. And I've also gone ahead and added the bit of avocado dyed paper to the back, so that it's got something to write on, and I think that looks really pretty. I might just ink a little bit around the edges there. And that's that one done, I think. So that slides in there, and I think that makes a nice piece of ephemera just as it is. I may still decide to turn that into a tag, but I think it's fine as it is. I quite like that little pocket. And oh, looks like it's gone right through, so I can't have glued it properly across at the bottom, so I'll have to do that afterwards. I'll do that afterwards off camera. Okay, so then I've got these last couple of pieces to finish. So this one I think I'm just going to make into a simple tag. Now I've got a really wiggly bit there, so I think I might just tidy that up. Not quite sure, it must have been the way I cut it. Oops, get this out of the way. I'm just going to tidy that up a little bit, because it's definitely not straight. That's better. Just a tiny bit, just to get rid of the slight wiggle in the middle. And I'm going to make this into a simple tag. I'm going to cut that now. And actually I think it's a bit, I always make my tags a little bit steep on the sides. No, that's not straight now. Yeah, I like that better. Okay, and then I've got this beautiful image. Again, this is from Tracie's kit. I think it was a spare piece, so I'm going to use it to decorate my tag, which I think looks really pretty with that. Now I was having a bit of a route round for some bits to finish these two when I was off camera, and I found this bit of fabric. I just spotted it and I wondered if it would go underneath, because it's the perfect colour. I did think it might look quite pretty just underneath there. Yeah, I like that. So it has got the ziggy-zaggy edge, but I don't have pinking shears, so I'm just going to have to cut it straight. And straight the other way. It doesn't really bother me that they're not all matching, because it's not something I can do. I've had pinking shears in the past and they're just too stiff for me to use, so I haven't bought myself any to use for this new craft, because much as I've seen, I'd love to be able to use them, and I've seen other people using them. I know I won't get on with them, so I haven't bought any. And I'm actually going to straighten this up a little bit at the top here anyway. Yeah, I tried getting a rotary cutter with a pinking blade or a zigzag blade, which I have used, but again it's not really easy for me to use, so I just stick with the things that I can do. There's no point in trying to do things that are too difficult, because there's no fun in that, is there? and this is all about the fun and doing what's possible. I will trim that a bit in a minute, but I think I'll just stick it down. And hopefully I will have no more glue traumas, but if I do, I'll turn the camera off yet again. It's not something you need to watch. How long does that need to be? Down to about there. Yeah, it's just a little bit of really pretty, I suppose it's like an organza-y fabric. And I just spotted it in one of my fabric boxes, and I thought, oh, that will go just nicely to back her. Makes a bit of a change from lace or cheesecloth. And then I'll just trim it off a little bit at the side there. Or straighten it up, really. It doesn't have to be trimmed exactly to the size of the tag. It just needs to be a little bit straighter than it was. And if it does fray a little bit, I quite like that, so I don't mind if it decides to fray. I'll help it along a little bit. Okay, now let's see if I can get her to stick on there. Just using the art. I don't want to use Fabri-Tac right now. It was not cooperating when I tried to glue the last one on, so I'm hoping this will be good enough, as it's such thin fabric. If it was a thicker one, I would have to use the Fabri-Tac. But if I can use enough of this, hopefully it'll be strong enough. Alright, I'll pop that on there. Is that straight? Not particularly. There. Okay. Right. She's lovely. I like her. Dip off those little bits. Okay. And I just thought I might put a little phrase or something underneath. I've got my Tim Holtz, what's it called? Small Talk. So I haven't used many of these, but I thought with the black, I'll use some of these black ones. And there's one here I quite like the look of. Oh, my window cleaner's just put his ladder at my window, so that would be interesting. It's not the first time he's turned up when I'm in the middle of filming a video. Okay, so I've got Darling, You're a Work of Art, but I don't really want the darling, so I'm just going to put You Are a Work of Art. Hello. Morning! Right. It is an absolutely glorious spring day out there, so that's really nice. And then we're getting our windows clean, which is very good. Right, it just says You Are a Work of Art. And I'll get rid of the darling. I don't really need the darling on this particular piece. Whoops. Okay, and I might put a little something at the top, but I'm not going to worry about that right now because I want to get this finished, because I think this video's gone on long enough. So this is the final piece. This was meant to be the pocket that goes inside. If you open this one out, this was the pocket to go inside it, but I've decided I don't want to use it like that. I want to use it separately. And I used a piece of the offcut of the paper with the backing paper on, so I thought that'd make a nice little pocket there. So I'm going to glue that on. Mustn't forget to glue up the actual pocket for the other piece. I clearly haven't done a very good job on. Let's try and get it lined up at the bottom there. There, like that. And then I want to put... Now I'm going to have to try and get the Fabri-Tac to work again. because I want to put a piece of lace across the top here. Now I did have it. Got it out ready and now it's disappeared. Where's it gone? There it is. So I've got just a piece of narrow, it's a bit of this kind of crochet lace. I think it probably comes from Hobbycraft. I just want to put a piece of trim. It's more of a trim than a lace, I suppose. But I want to put that across the top. Didn't want anything wide because I've got a couple of things to go in the pocket, so I don't want this to get in the way. So I'm just going to pop that across the top there, hopefully, if this decides to work. Right, so I've stuck on this piece of trim onto the top of my pocket, and then I've just picked out these couple of little ephemera pieces. These I think are both from an Artie Mays freebie that I downloaded probably when I very first started doing journaling because it was free and got me started. So I've just backed them with some avocado dyed paper, and I just think it goes really well with the style of this kit, so it's really, really handy. I'm just going to pop those in there like that. And I just want to put something down here, just a little word. So I've just picked out, I've got my little booklets. You remember the booklets that we made? Whoops, with 6x6 papers. And I still have, oh no, I have put the, there was one of them I haven't put anything around the spine in case I wanted to add any more pages to it. But this is one of the ones that I've made early on. So this has got some Tracie Fox labels and some G. Kerr labels, and I thought she does some nice words and they're quite pretty, and I thought they might go. So these are the G. Kerr ones. What's this? Lovely. Well, I think that goes really well. Look at the flowers on that. It could be designed to go with it. Matches beautifully with the little piece of ephemera that I've got in there, but it's by a completely different designer. But I just thought I'd pop that on there, and I do think it's on label paper, which is sometimes a bit of a mixed blessing. Okay, I've got it finally. I'm just going to pop that there. So I think I just need to get these finished now. I think I've done enough for today. I had hoped to do another one, but I think because this one has taken a while, and you know it's ended up being 3 pieces instead of just one simple one, and I did finish the other one, didn't I? So I think that's as much as I can manage today before I start getting any problems. So thank you very much for joining me. It's really great to be back. I thoroughly enjoyed crafting with you today, and I do hope you join me again soon. I am hoping to go back to my schedule of uploading twice a week on a Monday and a Thursday, and that should be possible as long as I don't overdo it and do too much crafting in between and then mess my shoulder up again. So I've got to be careful, but all being well, I'll be back with you. I think it'll be on Monday. Okay, bye for now.